In the first two declensions, the nominative almost always carried the rest with it. Apart from a few second declension nouns you had to learn in two forms, seeing the nominative was enough. The third declension breaks that promise outright. Here is the word for king.
Rex.
Now the genitive meaning of the king.
Rēgis.
Nothing in the first form warns you about the second. In this declension, the nominative singular is a disguise. Learn to see through it, and the largest family of nouns in Latin opens up. Start with what you already know. In a first or second declension noun, the part that never changes is called the base. Take the word meaning gate. Its base is
Port.
Add the vowel that belongs to the first declension and you have what is called the stem.
Porta.
The word meaning slave in the second declension has the base
Serve.
and the stem.
Servo.
Those two stem vowels shape nearly every ending in their declensions, so the declensions are named after them. The first is named for this vowel.
A.
The second for this one.
O.
The third declension is named for its stems too, but it has two kinds. Grammars call it the consonant declension or the I-stem declension. If the last letter of the stem is a consonant, the noun has a consonant stem, and there the stem is simply the base. Nothing is added at all. If instead the stem ends in this vowel,
I.
the noun has an I stem formed by adding that vowel to the base. The presence of that vowel changes several cases, so the distinction matters. Consonant stems come first, and they divide again into two classes. The first class adds one letter to the base to form the nominative singular. The second class adds no termination at all. This lesson takes the first class. 6 nouns carry the paradigm, and every one of them is listed with two forms, the nominative and the genitive.
Prīnceps.
A chief, think principal.
Mīles.
A soldier, think militia.
Lapis.
A stone, think lapidary.
Rex.
A king, think regal.
iūdex.
A judge.
Virtūs.
Manliness or courage, think virtue. The first 5 are masculine and the last is feminine. Nouns of this class are one or the other, never neuter. Decline the word for chief. Its base is
Prīncep.
singular, nominative, the base with a vowel shift we will explain shortly, plus the ending that names this class.
Prīnceps.
Genitive,
Principis.
dative,
Principi.
accusative,
Principem.
ablative,
Principe.
plural, nominative,
Principes.
genitive,
Principum.
dative,
Principibus.
accusative, the same as the nominative,
Principes.
ablative, the same as the dative.
Principibus.
Take the base away and the terminations stand alone. Singular,
Sebes.
plural,
Es. Ibus. Es. Ibus.
the soldier and the stone take their identical set on their own bases.
Milit. Lapid.
3 more, the same terminations, harder bases. The word for king has the base.
Reg.
So the genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative singular run.
Rēgis. Regi. Regem. Rege.
And the plural,
Reges. Regum. Regibus. Reges. Regibus.
the judge has the base,
Iūdic.
giving the genitive.
Iūdicis.
And courage, the feminine one, has the base,
Virtut.
giving.
Virtutis.
Every noun here takes the same endings. In this class, nothing changes from noun to noun except the base. So how do you find that base? One rule, and it never fails. Take the genitive singular and drop its ending.
Is.
And what is left is the base. In a consonant stem, the base is also the stem, so that single step gives you both. Watch it on the judge. The genitive is
Iūdicis.
drop the ending and you have.
Iūdic.
This is why every third declension noun is quoted with two forms. The first tells you the word, the second tells you how to build it. Learn them as a pair, like this.
Iūdex. Iūdicis.
Judge and of a judge. 2 patterns explain why the nominative looks so unlike the base. First, the vowel. Most nouns of 2 syllables carry one vowel in the base and a different one in the nominative. The chief,
prīnceps, princip,
The soldier,
mīles, mīlit,
the judge.
iūdex, iūdic,
Each shows the letter I in the base, but the letter E in the nominative. One word here breaks the pattern. The stone keeps the same vowel in both.
lapis, lapid,
Second, the consonants. Adding the ending causes two collisions. A base ending in the letter T or the letter D simply drops it. The soldier would otherwise be
mīles,
and becomes.
mīles,
The stone would be
lapids,
and becomes.
lapis,
Courage would be
virtūs,
and becomes.
virtūs,
A base ending in the letter C or the letter G does not drop it. That consonant unites with the ending, and the pair is written as the letter X. Add the ending to that base in its nominative form with the E,
iūdec,
and you get.
iūdex,
Add it to this,
reg,
and you get.
rex,
That is the whole disguise, and the genitive undoes it every time. 6 more words, 4 of them are nouns of this same class.
dux,
A leader, think duke. It comes from the same root as the verb you already know meaning to lead.
duco,
Next,
eque,
a horseman, a cavalryman, think equestrian.
pedes,
A foot soldier, think pedestrian.
pes,
A foot, think pedal.
barbarus,
Strange, foreign, barbarous. In the masculine plural, it stands on its own as a noun meaning savages or barbarians.
summus,
Highest, greatest, think summit. Those last two are adjectives of the first and second declension, and they decline exactly as you already know. Decline the 4 new nouns exactly as before. Drop the genitive ending, and the base appears. The leader.
ducis, duc,
The horseman.
eques, equitis, equit,
The foot soldier.
pedes, peditis, pedit,
The foot.
pes, pedis, ped,
The last two are the trap of this lesson. Hear them side by side. A foot soldier, nominative singular.
pedes,
Feet, the nominative plural of the word for foot.
pedes,
Only the length of the last vowel separates them. Every other case pulls them apart at once. Foot soldiers in the plural is,
pedites,
and one detail of sound belongs to the word for foot. Its vowel is long in the nominative singular and short in every other case.
pes, pedis,
Read these aloud and translate in the pause, then check yourself. First,
nece pedites, nece equites occupare castellum Romanum poterant.
neither the foot soldiers nor the horsemen were able to seize the Roman fort. Both new nouns are nominative plural joined as one subject. Second,
Summa virtute muros altos quotidie oppugnabant.
with the greatest courage they assaulted the high walls daily. The words for greatest courage stand in the ablative, an ablative of manner. Third,
Pedis militum lapidibus qui de muro iaciebantur sepe vulnerabantur.
the feet of the soldiers were often wounded by the stones which were being hurled down from the wall. Feet is nominative plural, of the soldiers is genitive plural, and by the stones is an ablative of means. The relative is nominative, the subject of that clause, and masculine plural because its antecedent is the stones. 5 more, and they carry the story of the treacherous girl to its end. First,
Quod novum consilium dux cepit?
what new plan did the leader adopt? The word for leader is nominative singular, the subject. Second,
Is perfidam puellam pulchris ornamentis temptavit.
he tempted the treacherous girl with beautiful ornaments. Third, a question and its answer together.
Quid puella fecit? Puella como tauro milites per portas dixit.
What did the girl do? The girl, stirred by the gold, led the soldiers through the gates. Soldiers is accusative plural, the object of led, force.
Tamen premia que summo studio petiverat non reportavit.
Nevertheless, she did not carry off the rewards which she had sought with the greatest zeal. The adjective meaning highest serves here for greatest, in another ablative of manner. And the last line of all,
Apud Romanos antiquos Tarpeia non est laudata.
among the ancient Romans, Tarpeia was not praised. Now the other direction. Build the Latin in the pause, then hear one good version. What ship is that which I see?
Quod navigium, et illud quod video?
The word for ship here is neuter, so the question word and the relative both wear neuter forms. The first asking, the second pointing back. The next sentence, that ship is the victory.
Illud navigium et victoria.
And the third, it is sailing now with a favorable wind and will soon approach Italy.
Nunc idoneo vento navigat et mox Italiae ad propinquabit.
With a favorable wind is ablative, and the verb meaning to approach governs the dative. So the name of the country stands in the dative, not the accusative. 3 more to build. The judges commanded the savages to be seized and to be killed.
Iūdex barbaros occupari et interfici iusserunt.
The judges are nominative plural. The savages are accusative, the subject of 2 passive infinitives. Next, the chiefs of the savages suddenly began to flee, but were quickly captured by the horsemen.
Prīncepes barbarorum subito fugere inceperunt, sed ab equitibus celeriter captisant.
Chiefs is nominative plural, of the savages is genitive plural, and by the horsemen is an ablative of personal agent, last. The king led the foot soldiers to the wall from which the townsmen were hurling stones with the greatest zeal.
Rex pedits ad murum duxit de quo opidani sumo studio lapides iaciebant.
3 nouns of this lesson stand in one sentence: king, foot soldiers, and stones, and the base of each was recovered from its genitive. That is the lesson. The third declension sorts its nouns by the last letter of the stem. Consonant stems, where the stem is the base itself, and I stems, which add a vowel to the base. Consonant stems fall into 2 classes, and today you took the first, the class that adds an ending to the base to build the nominative singular. Find the base by dropping the ending of the genitive singular. Expect the vowel to shift in words of 2 syllables. Expect a final letter T or letter D to vanish before the ending, and the final letter C or letter G to fuse with it into the letter X. 12 new words, 10 of them nouns of this very class, and 1 pair separated by nothing but the length of a vowel. Next, you meet the second class, the one that adds no ending at all. To practice what you just learned, this course has free exercises and AI graded feedback on ludium.ai. The link is in the description.